Hi, I'm Alex, and I'm super excited to be here today to talk about compliance in the hiring process, and specifically how Career.Place will help your organization save hundreds of thousands of dollars. Please post any questions to the Q&A section on Zoom. I will be responding to them at the end of my presentation. I'm sure that many of you have picked up on the trend that discrimination in the workplace has become an increasing area of risk for companies large and small around the country. These are just a few of the headlines highlighting how companies are getting into trouble related to discrimination, specifically regarding their hiring processes. This is happening because the candidates are either evaluated inconsistently, are being hired using irrelevant hiring criteria, or companies cannot produce the reporting materials needed to back up that their processes are fair and compliant. Compliance can make or break you as a company and seriously damage a company's perception among clients, employees, and customers. Yet, with the right tools, you can put these worries in your rearview mirror. But first, let's back up for just a second. With the passage of the Civil Rights Act in 1964, President Johnson started our country on a journey towards a more fair and equal reality. At that time, the Affirmative Action Plan, with the associated hiring quotas, was intended as a jumpstart to move the country forward on this journey. But the thing most people don't understand is that the Affirmative Action Plan was a means to an end, not the end. Out of the Civil Rights Act, the EEOC and OFCCP were created. Their sole purpose is to enforce anti-discrimination laws. And as you can see from these statistics, they've been busy. Over $367 million worth of fines between the two of them in the last year alone. If you are found to be in violation of the laws they enforce, there are serious and costly consequences. And these statistics, they don't even include the hundreds of thousands of dollars companies spend internally and externally to appropriately handle these investigations and lawsuits. The good news is, when it comes to compliance, the best defense is a good offense. Unfortunately, many companies have gotten stuck in a rut with existing applicant tracking system technology, internal hiring processes, and increasing diversity by using hiring quotas. But again, and I can't say this enough, the final destination is not quotas. It is implementing a candidate evaluation process and ultimately creating a workplace that treats everyone equally and without bias. So, what is a compliant candidate evaluation program? Say that 3 times fast. It's relatively simple, actually. It starts with identifying the necessary criteria to be successful in a position. Then you can evaluate your candidates in relation to that criteria in a fair and consistent manner to ensure equal treatment that can be demonstrated to auditors. The pièce de résistance is having proactive reports that can identify adverse impact being experienced by a protected class, which enables you to ensure a compliant and diverse hiring program, which government agencies also love to see. So, we've all been there when it comes to hiring. Someone is copying and pasting from an outdated job description, using requirements that likely have nothing to do with the job anymore. 3 to 5 years of experience for an entry-level job? Really? These kinds of issues are the kinds that often get employers in trouble, because typically these requirements weren't actually necessary from the position at all, and inadvertently or not, they end up filtering out protected class applicants, in which case adverse impact can come into play. Whether it be requirements, knowledge, education, skills, or any other criteria, these are the areas that you need to be identifying for each position you post from the perspective of necessity in order to avoid any compliance-related issues down the road. The way Career.Place works is we start off with industry standards, straight from ONET. That includes an editable job description and list of responsibilities. Once you've decided which job description and title closely match what you are hiring for, you can go in the job profile screen and edit all the details to match your needs. Next, you move into the qualify screen, where you are prompted to review everything from general requirements, compensation, education, certification requirements, etc., so that you can dig deeper to accurately define the needs of the role. Career.Place has given you the framework so that you can focus on clearly defining the requirements for the job and therefore have a compliant process. You can even create specific knowledge questions to ensure that the candidate's abilities meet the needs of your organization. These questions, as you can see, can be tailored to your needs, with multiple answer style options made available to you. You can also set a timer that specifies exactly how much time the applicant will get to respond to your questions. Once you've identified what the necessary criteria for the role is, you need to be consistent on how it is delivered to applicants. The process needs to be the same for each applicant when applying for a job, regardless of how they were sourced. This is so critical when it comes to government audits and investigations, because it shows them that you treat all your applicants equally. Whether they are an employee referral or sourced by a recruiter, they all need to get asked the same questions relevant to the position in a consistent, simple, and straightforward way. This part of the process is similar to the screener questions recruiters spend hours having to do live with applicants. An applicant either meets the requirements or they don't. If they don't, they won't continue with the application. And it's all documented. If you need to produce where exactly in the process an applicant failed to match the needs of the role, it's right there at your fingertips. If the process is consistent, then you've already won half the battle towards ensuring fairness. However, bias, unconscious or not, is everywhere. By removing the resume and keeping applicants anonymous, you are considering all applicants based solely on their abilities. Career.Place simplifies fairness by creating anonymized names for each applicant. Associated with the anonymized name, you can see at a glance their ratings on application assignments they completed. Their identifying information is withheld until you decide that they have proven their qualification for the position and you want to unlock them. Once unlocked, you will have access to all their information, including their full name, resume, contact information. You will be able to message them directly through Career.Place to coordinate the final steps in your organization's hiring process. And finally, reporting capabilities. To be compliant, make sure that all notes and applicant responses accumulated during the hiring process are retained, because they will be requested upon investigation. You also should be actively using your hiring statistics to keep an eye out for any adverse impact that may be occurring. And by the way, checking your adverse impact statistics only once a year is probably not good enough to keep the auditors at bay. A robust reporting solution will allow you to proactively make adjustments to your hiring process that may be inadvertently screening certain minorities or protected classes out. In addition to retaining all applicant process data required for an audit or investigation, our system automatically breaks down the statistics to identify any adverse impact affecting candidates of a protected class. We also provide this in a statistical report format, and it can be exported to Excel for further analysis. One effective way to use this data is, for example, if you are experiencing challenges hiring women into your organization, you can actually see where you are losing them, in this case, in the qualification stage. It allows you to pinpoint where you may need to make adjustments to your approach going forward. If you have any compliance-related questions regarding Career.Place or how it can help address areas of risk in your company, please feel free to reach out to me via email or on LinkedIn. Thank you.